The galactic crèche on Station Harmony 7 had never been quieter. Neru, the Velkian caretaker with her iridescent fur and 6 watchful eyes, paced nervously between the sleeping pods. Outside the reinforced windows, the debris field from the recent pirate attack drifted like deadly confetti through the black void of space. The cubs, 23 of them, representing 14 different species, huddled in the corner of the common room. Their usual chirps, growls, and musical whistles had fallen silent. Fear hung in the air like a physical presence. Keg, the station's only human maintenance technician, had been performing repairs near the observation deck when the attack began. Now, with the main staff evacuated and only emergency personnel remaining, he found himself in an unexpected role: temporary cub guardian. "They won't eat," Naru said, her translator device crackling slightly. "They won't sleep. They just ... wait. They know something terrible almost happened." Keg scratched his beard, looking at the assortment of young aliens before him. A Threxian cub with crystalline scales. Twin Oraki with their downy feathers still growing in. A small Velkian kit clinging to Naru's leg. All of them traumatized by the proximity to violence. "Did you try the standard calming protocols?" Keg asked. "Everything. The sonic soothers, the pheromone diffusers, even the zero-gravity play chamber. Nothing works. They're too frightened." Naru's middle eyes began to water, a sign of deep distress in her species. "I've never seen them like this. In my 40 cycles of care work, never." Keg studied the cubs thoughtfully. An idea began forming in his mind, something his grandmother used to do when thunderstorms terrified him as a child back on Earth. "Give me 20 minutes, he said. "I might have something." Naru's translator conveyed her skepticism, but she nodded. What choice did they have? Keg hurried to his quarters, rummaging through his personal supplies until he found what he needed: cocoa powder, carefully preserved milk powder, sugar, and a small vial of vanilla extract. Contraband, technically importing organic compounds, was heavily regulated. But Keg had learned that a little taste of home was worth the paperwork. In the station's commissary, he requisitioned a large heating unit and began his work. The process was simple, almost meditative. Heat the milk, add the cocoa and sugar, stir until smooth, add vanilla. The aroma began to fill the small space rich, warm, comforting. He prepared enough for all 23 cubs, pouring the steaming liquid into temperature-regulated containers suitable for different species' physiologies. The Threxian would need hers cooler. The Oraki twins preferred their beverages warmer than most. When he returned to the common room, the cubs barely stirred. Naru looked at the containers with confusion. "What is this?" "Hot chocolate," Keg said simply. "An earth beverage. We give it to our young when they're scared." "A beverage? For fear?" Naru's translator struggled with the concept. "Does it contain medicinal compounds?" "Mood stabilizers? Nothing like that. Just cocoa, milk, sugar. It's warm. It's sweet. It's single quotes S. double quotes." Keg searched for the right words. "It's comfort." He approached the nearest cub, a small Velkian kid with trembling whiskers. Keg knelt down, bringing himself to the kit's eye level, and offered the container. "Hey there, little one. I know you're scared. I know what happened was terrifying, but you're safe now. And sometimes when we're scared, we need something warm to hold. Something that reminds us that good things still exist." The kit sniffed cautiously, its ears perked up slightly. A tiny paw reached out and touched the container, feeling its warmth. Then, with Neru's encouraging nod, it took a small sip. The transformation was immediate. The kit's eyes widened. Its trembling stopped. It took another sip, longer this time, and a small purring sound emerged from its throat. The other cubs noticed. Curiosity, that universal trait of the young, began to override fear. One by one, they approached. Keg distributed the containers, adjusting temperatures, ensuring each species received an appropriate portion. The Threxian cub's scales began to glow softly, a sign of contentment. The Oraki twins huddled together, wrapping their wings around their cups, chirping musical notes of pleasure. A small dendrite sapling absorbed the liquid through its root fingers and began photosynthesizing with renewed vigor, its leaves brightening from dull gray to healthy green. "What is this magic?" Naru whispered, watching the transformation. "No magic," Keg said, smiling. "Just hot chocolate. Humans discovered long ago that sometimes the best medicine isn't pharmaceutical. Sometimes it's just warmth and sweetness and the knowledge that someone cared enough to make you something special." The smallest cub, A quillion barely past its first molt approached Keg shyly. In broken standard it asked, "Human, you make this for us? Even though we not human cubs?" Keg felt a lump in his throat. "Especially because you're not human cubs. Because you needed comfort, and I could give it." The quillion took a sip, and its quills, previously flat against its body in fear, began to rise in what Keg had learned was their equivalent of a smile. The cub looked up at him with large, trusting eyes. "This is brave drink," the quillion declared. "Make me feel brave again." The phrase spread among the cubs, passed from translator to translator, from species to species. Liquid bravery, they called it. Not because the hot chocolate made them fearless, but because it reminded them that warmth and kindness existed even in cold, dangerous space, that someone cared, that they were worth comforting. Within an hour, the cubs were talking again, playing, some even laughing in their species-specific ways. They kept their containers close, sipping slowly, making the liquid bravery last. Neru approached Keg, her 6 eyes glistening with gratitude. "I don't understand humans," she said softly. "Your species has no natural armor, no venom, no abilities that would mark you as nurturers in our understanding. Yet you knew exactly what these cubs needed when all my training failed." Keg shrugged, watching a Threxian cub share its hot chocolate with a nervous dendrite. "Maybe that's the human superpower nobody talks about. We've spent so long being scared ourselves of the dark, of storms, of the unknown, that we got really good at comforting each other. And I guess we figure if we can do it for ourselves, why not share it?" That night, 23 cubs slept soundly in their pods, empty containers clutched in paws, tentacles, and appendages. In the morning, they would ask for more liquid bravery. Within a week, Keg would be teaching Neru the recipe. Within a month, hot chocolate would become standard protocol in galactic creches across 7 sectors. And humans? They would add another entry to their growing reputation, the species that weaponized comfort, that turned warmth and cocoa into courage. After all, what is humanity but the species that learned to transform simple things fire, stories, sweetened drinks, into something that says, "You matter, you're not alone, and everything will be okay"? That was the real liquid bravery.